Hi everyone, it's Professor Clark, and in today's lecture we've got something that is actually pretty straightforward. Yes, it's another case, but it's a case that you already know, and most of the forms of this case don't require any changes to the endings. They just keep the nominative. So this is very exciting. The textbook is giving us a little break between verb conjugations to quickly review a very simple, easy, and relaxing construction in answering the question kuda, or where are we going? So in answer to that question, we're going into the accusative case. Let's dive in. When we answer the question kuda, or to where, in what direction, and we're talking about a place, we use v or na plus the accusative case. So when we're indicating location, we use v or na plus the prepositional case, as we discussed earlier in the chapter. And when we're talking about direction, when we're answering the question kuda, we use v or na plus the accusative case. And so the thing to keep in mind is that nouns that take v with the prepositional will also take v with the accusative, and nouns that take na in the prepositional will also take na in the accusative. So the preposition remains the same, whether you're talking about location or direction. The thing that changes is the case ending. And so once you learn which nouns take va and which nouns take na, you can just keep that. It doesn't change regardless of whether you're answering the question где, location, or kuda, direction. And as a reminder, va in this case means into an enclosed space. So when you're using va plus prepositional to answer the question где, where, to indicate location, you use va to talk about being inside enclosed spaces or spaces with borders. When you use va plus accusative to answer the question kuda, to where, into where, va means into an enclosed space. It means crossing that border and ending up inside of it. So examples would be v školu, to school, v univerzitet, to college or to university, v komnatu, into the room, v город, to the city. Na indicates direction towards an open space, an island, a territory, an official building, or an activity. So for example, na площадь, to the city square, na Gavayi, to Hawaii, na Alyasku, to Alaska, na вокзал, to the train station, or na занятия, to the college class. So once again, once you learn which places take va and which places take na, that stays the same. It's just the case that changes when you're indicating direction rather than location. So let's do a quick review of accusative case endings for nouns. And like I said at the beginning, the good news is that most of the time, the accusative case endings are the same as the nominative case endings. So you don't have to remember a new set of endings. When are the accusative case endings the same as the nominative case endings? First of all, masculine inanimate. So these are grammatically masculine nouns that are not people or animals. So these are places or things or buildings. And if you're talking about a place, a thing, or a building, the accusative is going to be just the same as the nominative. So я иду в магазин. I'm going to the store. Я еду в Новгород. I'm driving to Novgorod. Я еду во Владимир. I'm driving to Vladimir. Notice that because Vladimir begins with a consonant cluster that begins with v, we use vo, ve-o, instead of just v. Also notice that Vladimir, if it is the city, is inanimate, and if it is the person's name, it would be animate. But that's something different. We don't worry about the person right now. We're just going to talk about the city, Vladimir. In that case, я еду во Владимир. Also, all neuter nouns are going to have an accusative that's the same as the nominative. So, for example, я еду на море. I'm going to the seaside. Я еду в Одинцово. I'm going to Одинцово, which is a town outside of Moscow. If you're going someplace that is neuter, like Moria, the seaside, or Одинцово, this town outside of Moscow, the accusative ending is going to look exactly like the nominative ending. And then all inanimate nouns in the plural, regardless of gender, are going to have an accusative that's the same as the nominative. And again, this is just for inanimate nouns. We'll talk about what to do with animate nouns later. But if you're talking about a place, it's going to be inanimate. So for example, я часто хожу на концерты. I frequently walk to concerts, or I frequently go to concerts. Я хожу на занятия каждый день. I go to college classes every day. Or я редко хожу на лекции. I rarely go to lectures. In all of these cases, we have nouns in the plural. The first one, концерты, is masculine. The second one, занятия, is neuter. And the third one, лекции, is feminine. But in all three of these cases, the accusative is going to look just like the nominative. The only time that the accusative case has its own distinctive endings is in the feminine singular. And we'll call this the feminine singular. It's really all nouns ending in a or ya, the 90% of which will be feminine. There are occasionally masculine nouns that end in a or ya, but for our purposes, we're not going to worry about them at the moment. When we're talking about places, nouns ending in a or ya are almost always going to be feminine. So if you have a noun ending in a or ya, it will change endings and it will take a distinctive accusative ending. And the rule is, if it ends in a, that a is going to turn to u. So я иду в библиотеку. I am going to the library. Я иду в школу. I am going to school. Я иду в квартиру. I am going to the apartment. If the noun ends in ya, the ya will change to a u. Я иду на кухню. I'm going to the kitchen. Я иду на лекцию. I'm going to the lecture. Я еду во Францию. I'm traveling to France. However, if you have a feminine noun that ends in мягкий знак, it will not change. So я иду на площадь. I'm going to the city square. Я еду в Сибирь. I'm traveling to Siberia. In either case, even though the nouns are feminine, because they end in a soft sign, they don't change in the accusative singular. So there you have it. That's your quick overview of using the accusative plus V or Na in order to answer the question куда. I hope you found that helpful and a nice relaxing break from all the verb endings. Don't worry, next time we will hit the verb endings really hard. Talk to you later and enjoy your Russian.